y'all, welcome to episode 12 of Create This Book by Mariah Elizabeth and Ashleigh Monet. That will be me. This is a very special episode because in my first prompt, I'm going to be collabing with the Cassie Projects. Cassie is also currently working on all 3 editions of Create This Book. She's been doing Create This Book 1 and 2 for some years. So if you want that perfect, binge-worthy Create This Book playlist, that's your girl. She's got a bunch. Go ahead and scope her out after you watch this, of course. Stay here. We've got 4 prompts to tackle this week. So enough of me talking. Let's jump right in and see what I can create. Now for this first prompt, I'm going to be jumping ahead quite a ways in the book. All the way almost to the back. I know up to this point I've done everything else in sequential order. This is definitely not triggering for me. It's for a good cause. It's for a good cause. Love you, Cassie.
Create an applied suggestion. Ask a friend what you should do on this page. Use their first suggestion. Write the suggestion here.
So to complete this prompt, Cassie will be suggesting what it is I create. She's going to choose my subject, what medium I use, and my color palette. Now she is completing the same prompt over on her channel, and I got to suggest all of those things for her. Let's see what she's picked for me.
Hi Ashleigh, so I'm here to help you today with Create an Applied Suggestion. Firstly, I wanted to say how excited I am to do this collab with you. I absolutely love your channel, so I'm super excited to be part of it. 3 categories that we've decided to give each other. Subject. I'm thinking food. A food themed page, and I'm leaning more towards sweet food, so fruit or desserts or that sort of thing. Number 2 is what art supply I'd like you to use, and that would be watercolour. Now thirdly, I would like you to use these colours here. I know that you like to do dark and creepy, so of course I've added black and red to the mix because I know. I can't wait to see what suggestions you're going to give to me. I'm a little bit nervous, but very excited, and I can't wait to see what you're going to do with this drawing. Good luck.
Well, I personally love these suggestions. I'm feeling the idea of fruit. I'm totally down to do watercolor, so this should be no problem. With the color palette Cassie chose, the first fruit I thought about was a juicy papaya with the reds and oranges and blacks. So let's start laying down the base for that. Now, I did take the liberty of adding green to the palette Cassie gave me. She did choose this kind of muted bluey green, but I wanted something kind of bright and fruity. I was responding a lot to the oranges and reds of the palette. I just love warm colors. So I thought, okay, let's add some oranges. I did a whole orange, unpeeled, then a peeled orange where you have a view of the center, then one little sliver of orange. Oranges are one of my favorite fruits, and my mouth is watering already. Now again, I'm just laying a base right now, and once it's dry, I can go back through and add some details. For this next one, I wanted to break up the orange a little bit and incorporate more dark and muted colors because I think that was the vibe Cassie was suggesting for me. I went with an avocado. Yes, technically that's a fruit. I was able to use that green I had already mixed up, but also get a dark, muted version going for the skin. And then I also got to start incorporating the brown from my palette with that avocado pit. I just love avocados to eat, but also to draw. They're very aesthetically pleasing. Now for my last fruit, Cassie did me a service throwing in a red. I'm pretty sure she knew what she was doing and that it was my favorite color because she said that it's her favorite too. And I feel like us lovers of red, we acknowledge each other. So let's do my favorite fruit, a strawberry. Okay, now to make all of these fruits really stand out, I need a dark background. So I'm going to use black in the space immediately around the fruit and eventually blend it with that dark blue-green Cassie put in the palette. That comes later though. For now, let's add in all of those fun little details. Let's give all of these a little juicy highlight action and write in Cassie's suggestions that I had to include. I love how the prompt calls them suggestions, but then says we also have to take the first one. Like, if we're forced to take the suggestion, doesn't it then become a demand? Glue the page in, and here's my finished page o' fruit. I love this. Cassie nailed the demands, or suggestions. This was fun.
Well, now that that's done, thank you so much, Cassie, for collabing with me on this prompt. It was so much fun. Now, as a little bonus, Cassie does have a shop online. It's the cassieprojects.co.uk, and I did place an order with her. She has very reasonably priced merchandise, and even though she's in the UK, she ships all over the world, so I was able to get something. And that is awesome. Obviously, shipping does take a little bit longer if you're outside of the UK. I placed my order at the end of April. I'll double check the date, and I didn't receive it until May 9th. However, it does say even on the package itself that it was supposed to be received by the end of the day on May 7th. So, you know, just allow extra time for like shipping errors, things that are out of the sphere of our control. But yeah, I've been dying since I got it to open it up, but I wanted to do it on camera and see the stuff I got. I'm so excited. Oh, look how cute the packaging is. I love this tissue paper. Ooh, goodies. Okay, I definitely got some stickers that I didn't order. A little bonus. Did we just become best friends? Yup. Look at these. It's like strawberries and a little strawberry bunny. That is adorable. And these, a little forget-me-not bundle. So cute. Thank you, card. Oh, it's got a little note on it. Oh, it's a moth, and then there's a little like seal wearing a sweater behind it. Oh, and my hedgehog. The fern hedgehog. So cute. Okay, and now this was the stuff I was super, super excited about because this is so up my alley. But she has a whole line of stuff featuring dark vegetables, which are these creepy little veggie characters. So I got a notebook and the sticker bundle. But I mean, they've got little mushrooms, a little crazy beet, this freaking onion, I could die. The peas, the broccoli, like... This is one of those things that I wish I had thought of it first because this is so very me. Brilliant. Love it. I'm super excited I got these. And that's that. Like I said, you guys, she is super, super reasonably priced. And since she ships everywhere, like there is no reason not to. I'm going to link her shop down below as well as her channel. And then obviously the video that she's doing in collaboration with me. This was super cute, super fun, but let's go ahead and jump back to the video.
The next prompt of the week. Create plans for a building. Draft up some plans for some sort of building or structure. For my building, I chose to design a quintessential haunted house, straight out of a typical supernatural horror movie. You know, where some innocent, wholesome family moves into a creepy old house that was suspiciously underpriced. And even though the children are terrified, the parents are like,
"Oh, it's just a house with character. Old houses make lots of strange noises at night. Everything's fine."
But oh, it is certainly not. For my base sketch, I drew a lot of inspiration from the house in Practical Magic. I love that house, but I had to work to make it look older, darker, more run down, creepier. Well, with the drawing of my haunted house finished, I decided to move on to the blueprints, or in this case, black prints. Starting with the ground level, let me add the walls and doors. And then I needed to go through and label the rooms, starting with the library/study. Every haunted house needs a dusty old collection of books. Next is the parlor, a fancy room for entertaining guests. And then the living room for family time. And lastly, the kitchen. Here's where I decided to use white gel pen to draw in all of the furniture and decor. A grand piano in the parlor with a sofa and a love seat. Then 2 love seats, a coffee table, and a fireplace in the living room. Then a desk, chair, and bookshelves in the study. And wraparound cabinets and an island in the kitchen. Last was a rug in the foyer. And then I needed to label this small room off the kitchen as the pantry, and this is a closet by the front door. But it was here that I discovered that the gel pen wiped right off this black paper. So I had to go over everything again with my white paint pen. Got that done and moved on to the upper level. Not sure why, but I started with this room on the top right, which I turned into this massive haunted house's only full bathroom. Quite the design flaw. To the left of that, we have a bedroom, perhaps for guests. And I just had to give these poor new homeowners a second toilet. So here's a powder room right in the middle. Now for the main bedroom, it's a fancy bedroom suite with a fireplace and seating area. And finally, another secondary bedroom, perhaps this one for the poor tortured children. Oh, and I realize I've neglected to highlight the staircase, which runs in an L shape toward the back of the house. Let's add those to the main floor too. And now on to the third level, the attic. Honestly, I didn't even know what to put in here, so I started with one of those dead body chalk outlines. I don't know. I think creepy attic and I think of like old mirrors, mannequins, but none of that would really translate from a bird's eye view. So here's a few cobwebs and a bunch of dusty boxes filled with the belongings of previous families that have perished in the home. Can't forget the stairs. And our last level, the basement. Another one I was stumped on. Basements are usually creepy because of how they look, not so much what's in them. So picture a creepy, unfinished basement with dark corners where a dark entity could be lurking at any time. This one will have an old school laundry nook with an ancient washer and dryer and one of those dingy laundry sinks. Then there's this dark little storage closet with the furnace and water heater. More boxes of possessions, perhaps belonging to the children who have vanished within this very closet. And because the supernatural occurrences here need some sort of origin, I added a little pentagram. Maybe generations ago, some foolish kids called upon the dark side as a joke. Well, no one's laughing now. Alrighty, let's get these in the book. I love this. This was another prompt that gave me pause because I had no real ideas, but when in doubt, go dark. I'm happy with how it came out, and now I want to watch some paranormal horror. But next up is create color combinations. Play around with different color combinations. Group colors to see how they look together. Make note of your favorites. Now, with it being mermaid, I thought the perfect way to approach this prompt is with mermaids. I could use different color combos for their hair and fins. I really wanted this page to have a variety of mermaids, all different shapes, sizes, and colors. We'll start with this one. She's probably the most similar to what is like most often depicted with mermaids. You know, hourglass figure, serene expression, bare chest covered with her long mermaid hair. Typical. But then for this one, I wanted to make like a cute little young mermaid. She's like little sis mermaid. More modesty here. She's got a little seaweed top. And for my last one on this side, I of course need a nice thick mermaid to represent my girls. And I love that she's draped in pearls. Moving over to the left side, we'll start with an ultra slender mermaid. No skinny shaming here, okay? She's got the classic seashell bra made famous by Ariel. And this one is going to be super fit. We're talking ripped. I just love the starfish pasties for her. And she gets a trident. And my last is going to be another young one, but sort of in that awkward preteen phase. Still cute, but we all know that phase. She's also got a little seaweed top happening. And then I'm just going to fill these empty spaces with a couple little fish and, hey, a hermit crab, because why not? Now I'll watercolor the background blue so it looks like everyone's underwater. And finally, using the alcohol markers, we can start with our color combinations. I decided to start with a simple black and white monochromatic color scheme. I love the idea of black fins and white hair, especially on a dark-skinned mermaid. Ooh, she's like if Lizzo was a mermaid. Okay, now for little sis, I want to do a cool color scheme. Purples and blues and greens. We'll make her fairer skinned. I think that'll look really nice with those colors. All right, we did cool colors. Next up has to be warm colors. The reds, the oranges, the yellows. She looks like fire. I'll make her skin a deep tan, sort of in the middle of the other two. Okay, so for these three mermaids, I wanted to do the complementary color schemes. Complementary colors are those that are opposites on the color wheel. The first set of complementary colors is purple and yellow. So I made her fins purple and her hair yellow. We'll go fair skin for her too. Next I did red and green. So red hair and green fins it is for her. Really hard not to get Ariel vibes from this one, or maybe even Christmas vibes, but I opted to give her the tan skin as well. And that just left orange and blue. We'll give her some blue hair and orange fins and sea stars. And I think she'd look lovely with some dark skin too. Now to color in these little extra sea creatures, I just did a simple neutral color scheme for the crab, different shades of brown. Let's do a rainbow color scheme for one fish and pastels for the other. That's nice. So here it is with color. It looks pretty sloppy, but that's pretty normal at this stage. What it needs is some bold outlines and a little colored pencil shading. Like this. That's better. And now it's juicy highlight time. And just to finish it off, a few little bubbles here and there. Now let's glue it in the book. And it said to make note of my favorites. Well, I have my favorite color combos and I have my favorite drawings. Color combos, I'm obsessed with the purple and yellow, but I also really like the warm and cool mermaids and something about the black and white. Now, if we're talking favorite drawings, definitely my thick mermaid. Love the classic mermaid, and I kind of like the super buff one. Here's a closer look at all of them. I love this page, probably just because I love mermaids so much, but it was fun to play around with color and make so many varieties of mermaid. I just want to do mermaids all day. But now on to the next prompt. Create a progression. Draw something simple, add to it. Keep adding until you can no longer distinguish the original drawing. Knowing that this piece was going to end up looking very busy, I thought of a theme that has a lot of elements, lots of colors, and settled on Alice in Wonderland. I started with the door to Wonderland, the keyhole. Next, I added some leaves and greenery, and a couple mushrooms along with the hookah caterpillar. A teapot, of course, and that means I have to add a teacup. Next, a pocket watch, and the singing rose. Ooh, the Mad Hatter's hat. One of the butterflies. Now the drink me potion, and those wooden direction signs. How about the Cheshire Cat? And lastly, a couple of playing cards. Alrighty, now let's get this thing colored. Yep, there's that ugly stage. Let's improve this. Better. Now a few juicy highlights and I can start on the other page. Let's begin with some flowers, a little kitty, and yes, Alice herself asleep under a tree. I love this image. Let's color it in. Now we can glue these into the book. And here's the finished page. It's busy, all right, but Alice in Wonderland gets a free pass on that. I love the page. I love the colors. It's so whimsical, so fun. Well, with that, this week is finished. Let's go ahead and recap. We teamed up with the Cassie Projects to create an applied suggestion. She suggested I watercolor some fruit with a certain color palette, and that we did. I had a ton of fun with this one. I love how it came out. We created plans for a building, this quintessential haunted house, just waiting for another unsuspecting family to fall into its clutches. I love the drawing of the house, and of course the idea, haunted houses are just awesome. We created color combinations with this diverse array of mermaids in all shapes, sizes, and, colors. I love this one. Maybe I'm biased because I'm obsessed with mermaids, but I'm looking forward to doing a little more mermaid stuff this month because this made my heart happy. And lastly, we created a progression. With the Alice in Wonderland theme, we added and added and added until you couldn't tell where we started. I just love the fun of this page. Another awesome week behind us. I had a great time with these prompts. Thanks again, Cassie, for helping me out this episode. You can check out her channel and the video she made where I got to give her the suggestions here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.